Welcome to another episode of Stolen History Week in Review, number 2. So this week we've got Oracle and myself, Luddite. Hey Oracle, how are you?
Very well, thanks, Luddite. Yourself?
I'm fantastic. So we're missing Max. He's had some personal business that's taken him away from all this fun. So he'll be hopefully joining us next week, or maybe we'll get someone else to hop in. Let's just jump straight in, and we had some comments from people, and they the main comment I think was that we went a bit too slow and it went too long. So let's try to speed it up and cram some more in. And so with that in mind, we'll get kicking off. And there was about 10 new posts in the last 10 new threads in the last week, and we'll just go chronological reverse order. So Parasite. This was the first one. Now, just to be clear, Oracle, you and I, we haven't gone through these before, so these are all fresh mainly, unless you or I have commented on them. Is that right?
Yes, no, but these are totally new to me. I've had a busy week and haven't been into stolen history at all much.
Me too. I've just been doing a little bit of technical things on the server side, but apart from that, yeah, haven't really been looking in. I've made a few comments on some threads. I think that they're here. Anyway, let's look at this. Parasite. This is by I don't know how to say this. Niger Wiz. Is that how you'd say that?
Yeah, I'd say Nige Wiz.
and I love the title of this. Parasite, as in a parasitical entity that's living off a host organism. I'm guessing that's what he's aiming at there. And it's also something to do with, I'm reading into this, but maybe some paranormal site. What's your take on this title?
Yeah, I would, I straight away went in my mind to parapsychology, and so so that's where I'm coming from. I think on this is that
I like that. That's an interesting
it's
insight.
On another layer.
Yeah. So this was posted on the 28th. We'll just quickly see if we can get the general gist of it in a minute. So in a thread called Quantum Continuity, there's been a lot of chat. Okay, so he's referencing another thread, and he's diving into it. The only truth out there is the fact no truth. Not pretty fair. That's why we're on Stolen History. We're trying to unravel that truth, and we use logic and what resonates with us. I'm all there with that. That sounds pretty good. And he's looking into demon states in the realm that was hijacked. It's a bit of a cool reference there, and referencing this video, which I have not seen. Have you seen this, Oracle?
No, I haven't. No.
Okay.
And it's interesting. He says, so why are we here? Are we here to take back this realm from the entities that stole it from us and did their best to erase Tartaria?
I'd hope so.
I'm not sure about that, because I think we're big instigators
Mm-hmm. Yep.
with the resets.
Yes, probably a bit of both. Nothing is as black as white as it seems. So this fellow has Devil's Playground 2, which is a YouTube channel, and Pony Girl, she seems to like what he's talking about. I'm gonna probably have to check this one out. It looks like it's pretty good. It's life-saving drugs on rats. It looks like a lot of testing going on. He comes back with there's some Crater Earth ideas. They're looking good. Okay. This was a pretty popular thread. I think that really to get the gist of this one, we're going to have to jump into the video, which we've kind of agreed, you and I, that we won't waste people's time watching videos or getting too deep into it. So we'll just jump on to the next one. Strategy games about Tartaria. I planned to read about this one to get into this thread because it was just such an amazing title. Strategy games about Tartaria. And he goes into Crusader Kings 2 and Europa Universalis 4, the country of Tartaria, might spawn under some conditions. Fascinating. If there are games out there that are related, it sometimes makes you wonder where the narrative is being constructed. Are we constructing it via our creativity, or is it being constructed via some nefarious means by hidden groups or secret groups, or is it just natural? These things just get generated out of people. I do not know.
Well, yeah, that's a very, very good point. I tend to think that there's a lot of, hidden in plain view comes out in gaming. You look at Skyrim or any of those with all the ancient buildings and ancient technology.
Yeah.
It's hard to say whether we're creative or been led to understand.
So true. And
things might have been in the past by gaming.
Yeah, you could easily write a thesis supporting either or. So Fabio Rem, he has, sorry, I've got a bit of a cough at the moment. Fabio Rem, he's posted this, and we've got our good friend Catalyst. He's responding with some Tomb Raider information. I've never really liked that Tomb Raider story. It seems too diversity conscious, and with a woman going into the unknown and fighting all of these unknowns and winning, and just not possible. Anyone, it's crazy. It's a crazy little philosophy, and they're just jamming it down everyone's throats. And really, a Tomb Raider is a thief. Just leave these things alone. Don't go into someone's country and steal stuff. They're admitting that she's admitting that she's a grave robber, a tomb being a grave, and she's raiding it. It's a grave thief. What a terrible person. Just do not disturb the dead.
Exactly. Let them rest in peace.
Yeah. No one would like their grandma or grandpa being
seen that one myself either. I am put off as well with a lot of these new things with the diversity. Even movies are just, you click on it and, you're looking at a mixed race couple or, powerful women and useless men, and I can't watch them. I turn them off.
Yep, we will get 30 seconds into something and see any of that and turn it off. It doesn't matter what it is. Even if it was once our favourite movie series or TV series or anything in media related or a band, and as soon as we hear any of that in the last few years, it's off. I don't need to introduce that Luciferian cult mentality into my life, and the less you do, the happier you become. And it's really a simple equation. So I guess this thread's not for you and I. It's very game related.
Exactly. I mean, I don't have a television.
Yeah, you're very smart.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, if you're into games and the referentiality of those into our life, then excellent. So next up, we'll go to Yosemite. Or that's okay.
Just looking at the new post there.
Yosemite or Yohamite. I think I commented on this one. This is interesting. A play on words. with some biblical references by Emperor Norton. Pretty interesting name. Who's he emperor of? Hopefully himself and family, and not us.
Yes.
The plebs. So Yosemite, he dives into dissecting the word Yosemite, which is very interesting. A play on words, or is it actually the word? And finds a lot of old articles in some newspapers. I did find this one quite fascinating, actually, and he finds a heap of references to make what appears to be a claim that potentially the Garden of Eden is in America at the Yosemite National Park, rather than being somewhere in the Middle East, Euphrates or Nile River. Could it be? I spent a bit of time on this and won't bore anyone with this, but he has a lot of documentation, and it's really nicely put together. I don't know too much of this user, but so we've got some people down here. Legbeard, he's pretty new, actually. Yeah, he's got one message, never came back. Not happy. So, what are the implications? Why would they hide it from us? And I throw a couple of extra questions in. Could the Roman Empire move the entire biblical location? And good old Light Seeker, he comes, and the kibosh, they say it on the whole thing, says no tradition ever refers to what's being referenced. That's what's great about this style history. You can either side of any thread and have a good dig into it. It would be nice if he came back with some maybe some clarifying documentation there. Yeah. Okay.
Yes,
so.
yeah, rather than just the opinion.
Yeah.
I find it interesting that just looking at one of the cuttings there that they say they found the body of Moses in Newark, I think.
Yeah.
Honestly, I haven't looked at this thread, so I'll have to come back now and because there is some interesting stuff in there.
Yeah.
Though I think that we have at least three possibilities ongoing for Eden at the moment in stolen history. So, anything's possible.
Anything's possible. Maybe someone will get to the bottom of it with some great research. Okay, so next
hopefully
is Greece 200 Years Special, number 1, the Haitian Connection. One of my favorite members, and I can't even pronounce this, Hugh Quero. He's always got an interesting... Quero. Interesting perspective he has. He's from Greece. Yes. At least his DN is from Greece if he's using one. All right, so marks the 200 years from the beginning of the War of Independence in Greece. So that's interesting. They were not independent at some stage. I would have thought that history told us that they were the inventors of independence. The democracy came from Greece. Or is this Haiti? No, it's Greece.
I'm not sure what she's talking about. Yeah. There was discussion a couple of weeks ago about the possibility that the Greeks were actually planted in Greece and came from, I think, the Balkans. I can't quite remember.
Planted by whom?
This is interesting about the Haiti connection.
According to the narrative, put a sentence or two so we can get a bit of a summary and then move on. According to the narrative, a group of Greek scholars and intellectuals in Europe started sending letters to prominent foreign political figures asking for help with our revolution. So this is strange. 100 fighters went to Greece, and they sent 45 tons of coffee. So it looks like it was a bit of a cache for weapons. Yeah, okay, that's the story. Thanks, Haiti. So what happened to the men? We don't know. And he jumps into this. This is pretty nice. It doesn't look like anyone's responded. That's a bit sad. A few people have liked it. All right. Might move on to here. Star Civilization by Citizenship, one of our great contributors. A couple of new videos from Fenton and his channel. Ooh, so I do know of this channel. I have not looked into these Star City, Star Forts for a couple of weeks. Star Civilization. Some comments that I left here. When I see these civs and I let my mind wander, I think of mycelial networks and fractal geometry. Both are connected through the visual pleasing medium of the golden ratio. Too true. It's like classical art on an epic scale using the landscape of the canvas. What a wonderful, wonderful description. Our good friend from Australia, Mike Nolan, has piped in here. Fenton has these videos uploaded for a year ago, but he took them down until now. Great videos, good to see them back up. If you're into Star Force, Star Cities, check this Fenton channel out. Citizenship is linked it here. The Silver U has been doing a fair few really interesting threads of late. This one, Hidden History, Russia Past in the Middle East. Oh, this is going to be a good thread. Once again, he's posted, someone's posted a video. Maybe this should be moved into media. I'm not sure. I know this researcher, one of his books, by Space 966 says, I know this researcher in one of his books, he took kind of right approach to investigate ancient events, not by names of kings, but by toponymy. Not sure what that means. Hydronyms?
I think it's geography.
Hydronyms and geographical locations. Okay, I'm new to those words, apart from geographical locations. And the word and, I know that's a 3-letter word. It is true, for example. Okay, so he's in Moscow, so Moscow, so he may be Russian, so maybe a language breakdown there. I'm not sure. Postal pigeon. All right, so some people are really diving in this.
Yes, I haven't looked at the video, so.
Yeah, once again, hard to comment on the video content when we haven't watched it, and for brevity's sake, let's move on. Crusade, Holy Land Templars in North America. This is the second Templar, Knights Templar Masonry thread in the last week, so always a hot topic, and this one probably no different. So did the Knights Templar travel to the Pacific of North America? Well, my personal, I think they're everywhere.
I think I agree with you there. Yeah.
Some pretty cool maps.
There's nowhere free of the influence.
That's right. Maybe it is the only influence. This looks a bit like a skull, this Rhodes Island, if you see the nose, mouth.
Yeah, unfortunately the images are taking the time loading up for me, so I can't see what you're looking at the moment.
He's got some nice Roman bridges that he's showing. Interesting. So moving on, we have Venarsen, nice play on words. It's ancient iron towers. And he thanks some Russian site, Tataria Info, which I think most people know. Great site. We have these
It's such a fantastic site.
Yeah, it's just great. Right, tons of researchers. So he's making the connection that potentially there is tall buildings that were iron or transmitters, and he says maybe it to Tower of Babel. Oh yeah, I see. Ozone holes, some really interesting connections here, and then he even loops in some of the biggest first cities of and yeah, so we've got our good friend Dreamtime questioning what the negative are. Venison comes back, and yep, there's a bit of a language discrepancy. I'd put that down to just maybe a difference in language structure. I come in and just like Lightseeker in the previous thread, it looks like I'm putting the foot down on this one and correcting a few references. How annoying, but he seemed like that. So there we go. Next up, Godzilla versus Kong. Do you want to? Have you got this one open?
It's slow, but yeah, it's there now. Okay, so it's by another one of my favourite posters, Time Shifter. He's trying to see if people are trying to alert folks to historical realities through. I'm thinking Godzilla versus Kong and some movies.
Yeah, it looks like a movie.
Got a quick scan here now.
Oh, this is interesting. So in this movie, in the opening credits, Admiral Byrd, who we all know from his adventures in the Antarctic, and some of his speeches that he after that. Oh, well, he's in here. So it's like that there's a lot of hidden references inside here. Inside
right,
this movie.
Yeah, I mean, I just spotted that with they transported to China in a 1,000 mile per hour underground tunnel.
Oh, fast.
Train in the underground tunnel from California. I am a big believer in the hollow earth theory, so this one sort of tells me. Right.
It's interesting. Is it a Japanese movie, Godzilla vs. Kong? To do a lot of the Japanese seem to be fixated with this Godzilla, but why would they talk about miles per hour when they're kilometers?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, but these days there's a lot of international collaboration with making movies too. I've noticed in credits, so
that makes sense.
Well, there's input there from
spread the money laundering out over many countries is what the Hollywood is.
Yes.
All right, let's see what we've got down here. A few people responding. Some haven't seen it. Some are saying admire people who can stand watching modern film. You and I commented on that earlier. It's pretty hard. I've seen it, but I pick up on. Okay.
Oh, that was shocking. I if it's Hollywood, I'll just turn it off.
Yeah, absolutely.
I prefer to watch old movies, world movies.
Yes, absolutely, So do you want to also do the sworn in secret and then wrap it up?
Okay, so we got Conspiracy Jack, who's a new member, and he's talking about. Oh, it's another one with the Templars and the Freemasons.
Yeah, a book review.
The author is supposedly a 33-degree Mason.
That's interesting in itself.
He's Freemasonry came to open in 1717. Freemasonry, like the Templars, was banned and accused of heresy.
There's a lot. This is a big post.
That's a big list, yeah.
So he says that he's gone chapter by chapter and noted it down. I went through this, and there is so many little bits of his history in here that I hadn't either joined the dots or understood that were even related. So fascinating. Maybe it would be a good book to read. But the synopsis, it's a pretty long post. The record of posts today, for the last week. So yeah, we've got some people responding. Will Scarlett seems to not like my response to it, saying that there's a lot of secret societies, they're probably all the same, and they're probably all psychopaths. And he tells me to use the forum search. I think I did. I know how to use the forum search. Thank you, Will. But I always appreciate it when someone tells me to use something. So thank you.
It's nice to get it. Nice to get a hint.
Oh yeah. And from that I found this Hanseatic League, which was from an old member, Felix Noel. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. An old member who I think has deleted his account, but had a lot of fantastic content, and in his own way made a great contribution to the site. But this Hanseatic League, if you haven't looked into that thread, Oracle, I suggest that you do. Fascinating.
And I think that what possibly happened is that, they all were private clubs, if you like to start with, and then just got infiltrated by the parasites. And, in that way they've all become the one thing, because...
It makes sense if you're a money-hungry power control freak, then why not join teams with another money-hungry power control freak group? Thank you, Oracle. Hopefully this has been faster than the last one, and we've covered a lot more ground. I guess you and I will speak next week when we go through the next week review thread. Thank you for listening. As always, give us a like and subscribe, and any feedback.
Thanks, guys. See you, Lodad.
Thank you. Bye-bye.